Hey, Dylan.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Okay, I had a chance to review this material here. It looks like you've done all of these correct,
Yeah.
at least as far as I could read. Some of these I have a hard time reading because it's a little blurry.
Yeah,
Let's
it's a
say
little small.
24 is greater than negative 4x,
Yep.
minus
Um,
36 or plus 36.
minus 36.
Now let's look at some of these.
Alright. And then, yeah, we have a test tomorrow on this, so we just kind of wanted to review this before
Okay.
my test tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
Is this a negative 4x?
yep. Minus 36.
Okay. So
Okay.
you got this one wrong.
I do.
Uh-huh. So
Oh, yeah, I know. I actually,
let's go through the steps.
I got,
What's the next line I should write?
so, um, so I said, um, 60, okay, so it'd be x is
Well, let's take it
greater
one
than,
step at a time. 4x. In other words, if I move this 4x, you might be getting confused with if you move this to the other side, you do not have to change this direction of the inequality.
yeah.
It's only
I
if
got
you have to divide by a negative number that
is when
that's
you switch the sign.
right. But I'm not
Yeah.
dividing by a negative number. I'm adding 4x to both sides.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm going to divide both sides by 4.
Okay.
And that's the answer.
X is greater than, oh,
Negative.
yeah. I got negative 15 is greater than x.
Well, first of all, I would like you to always put the variable on the left side of whatever you're dealing with.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
Because all of your confusion comes when you have something like this.
Yeah.
So switch that around for me. If somebody tells you that 2 is greater than x, what would you give them as an answer?
If it was what?
If
Oh, 2.
starts out at 2 is greater than x, how do you graph that?
So you just put 2 down. Yeah, like that. And then, it would go to the left because x is less than 2.
Okay, so the first thing that we should
So you
do
just
is switch
switch
this around. Let's
yeah,
do that as step number 1. Because
yeah,
once you get it in this format with the x on the left side, you have no problems.
okay,
You know how to do those.
yeah,
Where you get confused is when the number's on the left and the x is on the right. So to switch it, let's make real clear here you know how to switch this around. I have to subtract x from both sides and subtract 2 from both sides.
okay,
That's the first step in switching it.
okay,
Okay? Now I got to
alright,
divide both sides by a negative 1, and because I'm dividing by a negative 1,
yeah,
I get that.
okay,
So that's how I go from here to here. Is
okay,
very algebraic, but
yeah,
the other way to do it is just switch them and switch this. In other words,
okay,
as soon as you see this, you know that x is less than 2. And then go
okay,
from there. Let this
alright,
be your final and starting point for
okay, cool,
those kind of problems.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
alright,
And this, of course, should be a negative 15. And it
yeah,
should be going to the
going,
right,
right, yeah,
and it should be an open circle.
yep, that's what I
The
got,
first problem.
okay, so, Nico's bike shop charges a daily rental of $7.50 plus a deposit of $50. She has no more than $100 to spend on renting a bike. Which inequality represents this situation? Circle letter
Now,
of the
let's suppose this was not a multiple choice.
Okay.
And they wanted you to come up with that formula.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
So it says a daily rental of $7.50 plus a deposit of $50. So it'd be
what's the first step in all word problems that I see missing here?
X
Okay.
is, yeah.
X equals what?
So
And this is important.
yeah. So
That's why every word problem should be started this way.
yeah. Okay,
What
so
is X going to be?
how much she can spend
No.
on a bike?
We know that that's $100. That's not a variable.
Okay.
The problem is not stated very well.
No.
Which is why you're having a hard time answering the question.
Yeah.
X is the number of days that she's going to rent the bike.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, renting a bike. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Of bike rental. Because she pays a flat deposit of $50 plus $7.50 per day. So
Okay.
it's very important to know what X is.
Yeah.
Because now we can say that if you're going to pay $7.50 per day and X is the number of days, then it's 7.50 times the number of days.
Oh, okay.
Plus the $50 deposit.
Yeah.
And all of that has to be less than or equal to the amount of money that you have.
Okay.
So that's how you come up with it. As to
Okay.
what the right answer is. But from looking at your work here, I can see 4 goes into 60. Oh, that's for this problem here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Let's look at just this. Don't look at any answers.
Okay. Okay.
So what kind of inequality can I come up with?
I got 90 plus 20x.
Start from the beginning.
Oh, okay, so x is equal, represents how many sweaters she can buy.
Okay.
Cool.
So now we know that what? Each sweater is $20.
Yeah.
20 times X represents the amount she can spend on sweaters, but she wants to purchase boots also.
Yeah.
For a flat 90. She doesn't want to purchase an unknown number of boots, so there's no variable involved.
No.
And what's the rest of this?
So 90 plus 20x is less than and equal to 185.
Okay. And one way I could have worded this was she has not more than $185 to spend.
Yeah.
It's not the way they worded it, but
No.
I threw that in there because that's one of those that you have difficulty on, where it says not more than, it actually means less than or equal to.
Okay.
And at least means greater than or equal to.
Yeah.
So, okay. So here's the inequality, which you wrote fine.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Looks like you solved it just fine. X equal to 4.7. And since we're dealing, this last question they ask you here
Yeah, so.
When graphing the problem, would you use an array or a set of points?
Well, you would use a set of points because it doesn't make sense to use array in this type of problem. Because if you use
array is used when you have the entire number line.
Yeah, when you can go negative.
In other words, if you can go piece of a sweater.
Yeah, you can
buy pieces. If you could buy 4.7 sweaters, you would use array also.
Yeah.
But because we have to come up with a whole number as an answer, then that's a set of points, not array.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what I would put in an explanation. An explanation that says it doesn't make sense doesn't really explain it.
Okay.
See why? You can't merely say you would use a set of points because it doesn't make sense to use array.
Yeah, and you can't buy...
That's not an explanation of it. An explanation would be because we have to come up with whole numbers as answers, we would use a set of points instead of...
Okay. And you can't buy negative numbers as sweaters.
Well, that's true. And that's the other thing about rays is they would cover negative numbers. And in our problem there, we had not only, we didn't have negative numbers, but we couldn't have fractions also.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see if you do this one right. You move 16 to the other side, which creates negative 28. Divide both sides by 3.5, and you get x is less than or equal to 8. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Because you have the x on the left side, you have no problem graphing it at all.
Nope.
Closed dot goes to the left.
Cool.
All right. This is a bit of a strange problem because of the minimum balance.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so use the information to write and solve an inequality that represents the number of $50 bills that you can withdraw from your bank account. So what's my first step?
Okay, so the number of $50 bills you can withdraw with the banking account, so without going through the minimum balance, so that'd be... So X represents how many $50 bills you can buy without going...
Number of $50 bills you can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So...
Okay. So that would be 50x. Then you would do...
Because $50 times the number of $50 bills you have is the amount of money you get in $50 bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so...
That has to be less than or equal to what?
I got actually 50x plus 100 is less than and equal to 320.
That's correct, but it doesn't really demonstrate that you recognize the problem. Because the problem says is that the amount of $50 bills you can withdraw is equal to your balance minus the minimum balance.
Okay.
Which is, turns out, the same as what you wrote.
Yeah.
But you have to include this negative 100 somewhere. All right, there's nothing wrong with the way you wrote it. It's perfectly acceptable, but it's just different. The key here is that x, because otherwise x doesn't just work its way into an inequality.
No.
Nowhere has she even talked about x in any of these.
No.
So the only way you can get an x into an inequality or an equation is to define it. What is it going to represent? And that's the key part of all of it.
Yeah.
And this also came out to be 4.4, which means what? How many $50 bills can you get?
4 $50 bills.
Yes. And this also would be a set of points, not array.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then it says, why do you use an open dot when graphing some inequalities? I said on some questions you would use an open dot because the sign doesn't have an equal sign under it.
Correct.
And then, yeah, I just did a little example
Yeah,
there.
well, your explanation is fine here. Use an open dot when it can't be equal to that value.
Yeah.
It can only be greater than or less than.
Mm-hmm.
If it can also be equal to the value, then you use a closed dot.
Yeah.
That also means this.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's open up the fourth page here.
All right.
Okay, again, let's cover up everything.
Yeah.
You work from scratch.
Okay.
Your weekly base salary is $450. You earn $25 for each video game that you sell. Give me an equation for what you make.
Okay. Well, it says for the first question. It says what is the minimum amount you can earn in a week.
Okay,
So
but
I
before
said,
we get to that, give me an equation for what you make each week.
oh, so X is the number of video games you can sell.
Okay?
Cool.
So what's the equation? What's the expression? What's the expression that's going to give you your paycheck, the amount of your paycheck?
450 plus 25x.
Okay, that's the key expression.
Yeah.
So that's how much you're going to make each week, is 450 plus 25x. So what's the minimum amount you can make in a week?
$450 a week.
That's if you don't sell any video games at all. In other words, if X is 0, this is going to equal 450.
Yeah.
Write an inequality to find the number of video games you must sell to make at least, that means greater than or equal, $730 a week.
Okay, so you just plug in 450 plus 25x is greater than and equal to 730?
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And then solve that inequality. There's no problems with solving that.
Cool.
Looks like you did that. Did you divide by 25?
Yeah.
Okay, you should not use this division sign like that when you're doing it.
Okay.
Use a fractional sign. Nobody uses that division sign.
Okay.
Ever in math.
Okay. All right.
You divide 7 by 4, do it like that. Don't do this.
Yeah.
That's elementary arithmetic, but that's, you get past 9th grade and that's the last time you'll see that sign.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Only because it can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
In other words, it's hard to read, whereas if you put the line under it, I can't misread it. Is 550 divided by 25?
I got 25.
Don't think so. Yes? Why is that not correct? What is 25 times 25? Is that one of those squares that you know?
Yeah.
625.
Oh, it's 625?
Uh-huh. So something's wrong, right? If 25 times 25 is 625, then 550 divided by 25 can't be 25. Okay. Now, you clearly didn't do that on a calculator. Let's do it by long division.
Yeah.
And see where you went wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I did
Goes in there
25.
twice.
Yeah. Just 50. Which would be 5. Drop the 0. Oh, 22 times.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I messed up. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I jumped problems without realizing it. We were actually dividing 25 into 280. And
Oh.
you got 11.2,
Mm-hmm.
which looks correct.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look correct. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. Which means okay, very good.
Cool.
Well, hold on a second. Solve the inequality. So we get x has to be greater than 11.2.
Yeah.
Okay, so we answered B with that inequality. We answered C, and what does the answer mean in context of the problem?
It means 12 is the minimum amount of video games to sell to reach $730.
Yeah, because if you only sold 11, you wouldn't quite reach there.
No.
So you'd
And
have to
X
sell
is
that
greater
extra.
than 11.2.
Although, to tell you the truth, I'd be hard-pressed to sell that 12th one because it's only going to give you an extra 20 cents
Yeah.
because you're so close to 730 when you sell 11 of them.
Yeah. And would it be also X is greater than and equal to 11.2?
Yes.
Okay.
In other words, that really should be in here. You didn't really solve it. It says solve
Okay.
the inequality in part B. Well, you got down to this, you put it there, but you didn't put x is greater than or equal to 11.2.
Yeah, I must have put that on later.
It looks
Because
almost
I
like you had
said,
it underneath there and you erased it and
yeah.
wrote this on top of it.
Yeah, I said X is greater than and equal to 11.2 off to the side.
Okay. Then
Yeah, I probably,
amount only has one M in it.
okay. Amount, oh yeah.
I'll give you a spelling lesson as long also to go with the math.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a look at D.
Alright.
Company policy is that a part-time employee, the maximum you can earn is $1,000 a week. So we know you had to sell 12 to earn more than $730. But if you can only earn 1,000, then at some point you're not going to want to sell any more video games.
Yeah.
So we need to set up an expression. And what you make is 450 plus 25x. So that has to be less than or equal to 1,000. It can be equal to 1,000. They'll let you earn 1,000.
Yeah.
Because they don't force you to earn just 999.
No.
Okay, then you subtract 450 from both sides. You got 550 divided by 25. Okay, we know that's 22.
Yeah.
So if you sold exactly 22 video games, you would make $1,000.
Yeah.
So there's no point in selling more than 22.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you've answered that adequately.
Cool.
Write an inequality that is solved using the division property of inequalities where the inequality symbols needs to be reversed. Okay, you've given a perfect example of it here.
Cool. Alright.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's see. Let me see if I can think up a few problems
Sure.
and see if you can solve them from scratch.
Okay.
However, in order to do that, let me get a piece of paper, look at some of these existing problems,
Okay.
and think about it for a moment.
Alright.
Okay.
All right.
You want to buy yourself a bike and some gloves.
Okay.
You got a total of $215 to spend.
Okay.
Go
Here,
ahead.
can I go get a piece of paper?
Sure.
Real fast? Okay. I'll be right back. All right, thanks. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
$215.
Okay.
You want to buy a bike and some number of pairs of gloves.
So you want to buy a bike?
The bike costs $110, and the gloves are $20 each.
So a bike for how much? $110.
And gloves for $20 each. Set
Some
up.
gloves.
Set up an equation or an inequality that tells that you can solve for how many gloves you can buy.
Okay, and the gloves were $20 each, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what? Solve for?
Solve for how many gloves you can buy.
Okay.
But give me the inequality that you're going to write.
Okay. You can... Okay, so you want to buy a bike for $110 and some gloves for $20 each. Okay, so X would be the number of gloves you can buy.
Good. Now what's the inequality?
Here, let me start this down. Okay, so you want to buy, okay, so would it be 20x plus 110 is, so you have $215, is less, or what, yeah, less than and equal to 215.
Okay, now solve that.
Okay. Alright, so 5, 0, 1, 5, so 105. Okay, so 20 goes in a...
So what's the result of the inequality? What's your final X is what?
Yeah, here, let me just solve this real fast. Okay, so 20 goes in a 50. 2 times, which is 40. Okay, so X is less than and equal to 5. Okay, so you can buy 5 pairs of gloves.
Okay.
5 gloves.
Yeah, your final inequality was X is less than or equal to 5 1/4.
Yeah,
Which
that's what I
means you
got.
can buy 5 pairs of gloves. You can't buy
Cool.
6.
Okay? Yeah. All right, and I'm
Another
still kind
problem.
of...
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm still kind of confused on the sign. Like, is it greater than or less than? I'm still
Okay.
kind of confused on that one.
Okay.
So it says you have $215.
You mean you're confused on that problem as to why it's less than or equal?
Yeah.
Well, because the total amount you spend has to be less than the total amount you have.
Oh, okay. So if it says like a minimum of $215, then it'd be greater than?
No. No. If you had a minimum of 215, that means you'd have a maximum of 1,000,000, and you could buy as many gloves as you wanted.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't make any sense. So all of these inequalities only make sense because you have a limited amount of money. Let me give you another problem.
Okay.
You're stuck in a big city and you're lost and you don't know how to go anywhere, but you find a taxi.
Okay.
Got $75 on you. And the taxi says he's going to charge $20 plus 30 cents a mile.
So the taxi charges how many?
Charges you a flat $20 to get into the cab, and then he's going to charge you 30 cents for every mile he takes you.
Okay.
How far can you go?
And 30 cents for how many, or for each mile?
That's how taxis work.
Yeah.
There's a flat charge plus so much per mile.
Okay, so you have $75. The taxi charge is $20 for the cab and 30 cents for each mile you go.
So how far can you go?
Okay.
So what's the inequality?
Okay, so so X would be how many miles you can go.
Right.
Okay. And then, so would it be 75 plus
No.
30x?
No. The 75 is the restricting amount.
Yeah.
That's what everything has to be less than.
Okay, so it'd be 20
Let's write
plus...
the cost of the cab is what goes on the left side of the inequality.
Okay.
You want the total cost you're going to have to pay that cab driver.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay him $20 plus 30 cents times X.
Okay, so yeah, so
Like
20
that
plus...
to start with.
Okay, so 20 plus...
3X. Now what?
Yeah, so 20 plus 30x is less
Not
than...
30X. Well, don't get dollars and cents mixed up.
No.
In other words, we've got it in dollars. It's $20 plus 30 cents a mile, but 30 cents is $0.3. So it's got to be 20 plus 0.3x. Because, because we can't use cents in one spot and dollars in another.
Okay.
You have to use cents everywhere, in which case we'd have 2,000 cents.
Yeah.
Or dollars everywhere. Well, dollars, we already got $75 and we already got $20. Let's keep everything in dollars.
Okay.
So we got 20 plus 0.3x is what?
Is less than and equal to 75.
It's less than or equal.
Yeah.
Not and.
Or less than
or equal.
Or equal, okay.
It can't be both.
Yeah.
It can't be at the same time less than and equal. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It can only be on one spot on the number line. So you're less than a number or you're equal to it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so solve this.
Alright, so I got x is less than and equal to 166.6 miles. Or 160, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Cool.
So that's how far he can go, is 166 miles and no further.
Okay.
If Safe Haven is 180 miles away, he's screwed.
Yeah.
He has to negotiate with that taxi driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
closer, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Let's see if we can find a different kind of problem here.
cool.
Hold on.
Alright.
Does that mean you're hungry? She just tore up. She shredded her bowl for eating.
Really?
Trying to tell me something. Let me just go give her a little food. One second.
Yeah, sure, go. Alright, go ahead.
I don't know what her problem is. Just because I skipped dinner, she doesn't like skipping.
Really?
So
How old is she?
she's 2.
Wow, so she's young.
She's 2. She's young. She's hungry. She eats everything you put in front of her. So I
Yeah.
can't just
Yeah,
bowl of dog food.
we had a neighbor who had a dog like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like that she could eat, she'd eat immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how they get all excited and like wag their tails?
Uh-huh.
This one had no tail, so she
Oh,
just
really?
shook her bottom all the
So
time.
her whole body just kind of shook. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've seen dogs like that.
Yeah. But she's dead now, so yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
Okay. This time you work at a video game store.
Okay.
And you earn, they gave you a raise to $5.50.
Okay.
That's your base salary. But to make up for it, they're only going to give you $20 per videotape that you sell.
So they give you $20.
They're going to give you $20 for every video game you sell instead of $25.
Okay.
But they're going to offset it by giving you a higher base salary.
Yeah.
This is the way the real world works also.
Mhm.
You could very easily find yourself in a job that did that. Where
Yeah.
they might start you off giving you 25 per, but then they decide, well, that they like it better if they only gave you 20 per, but they'll give you a higher base salary to make up for it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
if you're part-time and the maximum you can earn is $1,500, no matter how many video games you sell.
So the maximum you can earn.
Let's do 2 problems. How many
Wait.
video games do you have to sell to earn, let's say your expenses, your living expenses are $900 a month.
Wait. Is this part of the first problem? The maximum you can earn is
Yeah, I'm going to give
1,500?
you 2 problems, just like they did. First of all, you've got a couple goals. You live on your own, you got rent, you got food, it costs you $900 a week to live.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty realistic too. That's about what it costs me to live, is about $900 a week.
Yeah.
So, come up with an inequality as to how many video games you have to sell in order to earn at least $900.
Okay. So it costs $900 to live on your own.
Yeah. So how many video games do you have to sell in order to make a living?
Okay. So X would be how many video games you sell.
Correct. Okay. So now give me an inequality that states the situation.
Okay. Okay. So Um, okay, so would it be 20x plus 550 is, so the maximum you can earn.
No. That's the next problem coming. Right now, you have to make a living.
Oh, so okay, so it costs $900 to live on your own. So 20x plus 550 would be greater than
Or equal.
and equal to, yeah, greater than or equal to 900.
Right. Because
Cool.
20x plus 550 is the amount you earn each week.
Yeah.
And if it's not greater than 900, you're not going to be able to pay your bills.
Okay. Cool.
So that's why it has to be greater than or equal to 900.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you can solve that. Okay,
So,
now, additionally, in addition to having to make $900 a month, your company has a policy where nobody gets paid more than $1,500.
alright, here, let me just solve.
So now write an inequality that reflects that.
Okay, so I just solved that one. I got 17 and a half.
Okay, so how many video games would you have to sell each week
So
to make a living?
18 games.
Right, because if you only sold 17 and a half, you wouldn't quite make 900.
No.
You'd make $10 less than 900.
Yeah.
So you need to sell that extra video game to make more than 900. Okay,
Yeah.
and now what about the second problem where they will only pay you $1,500 a month? So how many video games should you sell?
Okay, so the
You
maximum.
shouldn't sell any more than that, really. I mean,
No.
you could, but you don't make any more money.
No.
So what's the expression that reflects that?
Okay, so yeah, the maximum you can earn is 1,500.
Yeah. So what's
Okay,
the inequality that reflects that?
So the maximum. So 20x plus 550.
Is what?
550 is greater than.
No. It's got to be less than. Remember, 1,500 is the most they will pay you.
Oh, okay. So it'd be less than?
Yeah, it's got to be less than 1,500. You don't want to make more than 1,500.
Yeah.
You want to
So
make you want to sell the number of video games that it takes to get as close to 1,500 as possible, but not over it, not more than that.
Yeah.
So this is a situation where not more than means less than or equal to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I
So
know you how to solve that. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about you solving them. I'm worried about you setting them up.
yeah.
You can set them up right. You can solve them. I mean,
Okay.
I know you know how to solve them. You've solved all of these correctly.
Yeah. So you make it.
All right, let me give you one last inequality.
Okay, so I got.
I don't need the answer.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I don't have any worries about you solving it. My worry is that you set it up right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So yeah, for that one, it says so the maximum you can earn is 1,500. So so the maximum you can earn is 1,500. Okay. So would it be
so what's your
47
final
games?
So
47.
X is less than or equal to what?
Yeah, X is less than and equal to 47.5.
Okay. Which means if you sold 47 video games, you would stay under 1,500.
Yeah.
But if you
So
sold 48 video games, you'd go over it. And you wouldn't really get paid for that extra video game you sold.
Yeah.
Because they're going to limit you to 1,500 even if you earn 1,510.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
One last problem here, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
Let me think for a second.
All right.
3x, write this down,
Okay.
3x minus 5x greater than or equal to 15. No,
Okay.
16.
Oh, 6, okay.
Tell me every step of the solution. Give me the next line in the inequality.
Okay. Would you do 16 minus, well, it's 3x plus 5x, right?
3x minus 5x.
Or minus 5x, yeah. So on this one, does it matter like which one you divide or subtract by?
Yeah, it does. First of all, you got to simplify this. What's the very first step you can do?
Oh, so subtract 5x
Okay.
minus 3.
So what is that?
Negative 2x.
So negative 2x is greater than or equal to 16. Now what?
Yep. And then it would be x is less than and equal to negative 8.
Okay. Think you're good to go.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel really good about this test.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, good luck.
All right.
Let's see. We don't
Thank you.
have, yeah, I guess we're scheduling it on as needed basis. And I
Yeah.
will be more available after today.
Okay, cool.
I got a lot of students that I'm seeing for the last time this week. So,
Okay.
you know, just because they've got finals on Friday and there's no more class after that for them. So, when do you get out of school? How long do you go?
we get out May 31st.
Really? So you go for quite a while. Do you take tests right up to the last day?
Actually we have 2 tests tomorrow. One for math and then one for science.
But these aren't your last tests? These aren't like finals?
No, they're not.
Okay. So you still
we
got
do
a
have
final.
quiz.
You still got a final in math that you have to take.
Yeah, which is tomorrow.
So which is tomorrow?
Yep.
So after
math.
tomorrow, you won't have any more need for math?
Well, we might have Mr. Haney. He said we're gonna have a quiz.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
we might need you.
We may or may not be done.
Yeah.
Regardless, good luck on your test, and if I don't talk to you again for the rest of the school year, have a good summer.
Thank you. You too.
Hopefully we'll work together next fall again.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Talk to you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.